Paulie's World of Sportsman presents the Time Travel League of Baseball. And this contest will be between the Spirits at 9 and 5, representing mostly the 1970s era stars, and Travelers from all throughout time, battling the Spitfires, basically 1940s players. But as you see, Tim Hudson is the starting pitcher, and we're playing this game from Sportsman Park in St. Louis, Missouri. You see the teams there, and 28 of the players on these teams represent their era, and then there was a draft so that the teams could fill out their rosters. 12 players from any era they could choose, and I let the computer pick for all teams. Then the computer, I picked 5 more players from each team's era just to give them some reserves, just in case of injuries and so forth. So here are the rules we use in the Time Travel League of Baseball. If you saw our first episode, we went through this already, but I thought I would show this to you again. Each team plays the other 14 times. 2 series. One's a 3-game series. The other is a 4-game series. The division winners, randomly drawn the divisions, they will make the playoffs, as well as the 2 next best teams. It's a 2-round playoff, best of 7 for all series. We have some news for you. Keeping tabs on the League of Futurists right now, the best team in the league, 10 and 4. The Niners, the 1990s era players for the most part, have gotten off to a slow start. They are 3 and 11, and you see some of the statistical leaders here. And as I noted on one of our other episodes, Bob Feller for the Spitfires, who we're going to be seeing in this game. Bob Feller just started the last game against the Dead Ballers in a win for the Spitfires that took 13 innings, and then they had to travel home from the Baker Bowl in Philadelphia to here in St. Louis. So kind of wonder if they will be gun shy. Feller to a no-hitter, as the Spitfires defeated the Sultans, led by Babe Ruth, 4-0, despite 4 errors made. Feller was able to keep his no-hitter alive. And with that, we will bid you hello here. I am using a new piece of software on my phone called OBS Controller, so we won't have the mishaps we had in our last college basketball 75-76 episode. How you doing, everybody? This should be an interesting game. The Spitfires playing with a bit of spit and spunk as we have gone through the first few games of this season. And I'm going to look at my standings here. The Spitfires 2 games out of first in the B division at 8 and 6, as the Spirits are playing a little closer. They're 1 game behind right now at 9 and 5 of the Futurists. In the other division, the Explorers, this team of the 60s, is 9 and 5. The Pioneers 8 and 6. The Aces and the Dead Ballers are all 7 and 7. Not too far behind, but it's still very early in the season, and it's anybody's race. As we take you through this game, John Matlack starting for the Spirits, and the out-of-era Tim Hudson is going to start for the Spitfires. And I am on the wrong date, because I wanted to look up the date that Bob Feller threw the no-hitter. There we go. All right, you should be on the display feed now. Yes, you are. Good. And we'll just leave you that way. So we will play the Spirits and the Spitfires, as that's the game with the best records. Futurists and Stars were closely behind. Futurists 10 and 4, and the Stars, the 80s Stars, the 80s era Stars, I guess you could call them, playing out of Wrigley Field, are 6 and 8. We'll set up the lineups for you and show you what's what. Okay. I'm playing as the home team, so I'm going to make a change in the lineup. Walker Cooper is another catcher. I don't really want to use him if I have to, so I'm going to put in over here Ralph Kiner I'm going to put him in behind, in front of Roger Connor. And we'll go through the lineups as we get to them. And here is the Spirits lineup. And we'll get you to the field.
Pitching for Spitfires, Tim Hudson.
So Hudson is going to be the starter of the Spitfires. He's played well so far. He pitched 3 1/3 inning and has not given up a run yet, so my graphic was incorrect. His ERA is 0.00, not 1.00. And here is the lineup he'll be facing at Sportsman's Park. Joe Morgan leading off, batting second. Nomar Garcia-Parra, out-of-era player, is your shortstop, batting second. Fred Lynn, the center fielder, batting third, here over the 75 Red Sox. Dick Allen is at first base. Not a great first baseman, but they have him in there for his bat. He's batting fourth. Jim Thome, another out-of-era player, he is the DH, batting fifth. Willie Pop Stargell in left, batting sixth. Michael Jack Schmidt in the 7-hole, even though he has 7 home runs, he's batting third. Reggie Jackson, the straw that stirs the drink, he is batting eighth. And Johnny Bench is your number 9 hitter. You know it's a good lineup. I just make sure I'm on my display feed again. I have a short-term memory when it comes to doing these games. Bench is your number 9 hitter. Defensively for the Spitfires, Ted Williams, Joe DiMaggio, Enos Slaughter, your outfielders. Brooks Robinson, out of era. Lou Boudreau, old shufflefoot. Joe Gordon and Roger Connor, another out-of-era player at first base. Gabby Hartnett is the catcher, and Tim Hudson is pitching. And I'm going to bring my corners in because I know Joe Morgan likes the bunt. No, it's a grounder to third. That back Robinson up a bit. The throw to Connor is in time, and there is your first out. For some reason, my game is back to the scheduling screen. Nomar Garcia-Parra. By the way, Morgan is off to a slow start with that out. He's now at 135. Nomar, 263. 2 homers, 8 ribbies. Pitch is a grounder. Gordon's got it. He throws to Roger Connor for the second out. That's going to bring up Fred Lynn. He had the 291 batting average, 3 homers, 13 RBIs already in 14 games that the Spirits have played. Grounder, that's going to be a base hit to right. Enos Slaughter will bring that back to the infield. Lynn, average runner, not a real stolen base threat. That brings up Dick Allen. Dick Allen, 300 so far this year, 4 homers, 6 RBIs. His OPS a little over 1. And if your OPS is over 1, that means you're doing good hitting the ball. Hudson will deal. A grounder to third. The throw to Connor is in time, and the side retired. No score as we head to the bottom of inning 1. Here's your lineup for the Spitfires. Slaughter leading off in right field, hitting 383 so far. Lou Boudreau, the longtime Cleveland Indians great, ended his career with the Boston Red Sox. He is your shortstop. Ted Williams, the splendid splinter, is in left. The Yankee Clipper, Joe DiMaggio, is in center. Gabby Hartnett from the Cubbies, your catcher. Ralph Kiner from Pittsburgh is your DH. The out-of-errored Roger Connor is at first base, batting 7th. Joe Gordon, the number 8 hitter, batting, not batting, but fielding at the second base slot. And that's not Jackie Robinson, that's Brooks Robinson. Jackie Robinson, I think, is also on the Spitfires, and he's on the bench. And, by the way, anybody in the 40-man roster can play in a game. Brooks Robinson is your number 9 hitter, batting third, but he's not there for his bat, he's there for his club. John Matlack, 7.36 ERA, 11 innings pitched, he's 0-2. And he has the unenviable task of facing this rather robust Spitfire lineup. Enos Slaughter, a grounder to right, a base hit, and that's going to get by Reggie. And that's going to be a double. And Dick Allen criticized for a poor play there. And with the runner at second, here's Lou Boudreau. Bunt, and that's going to move Slaughter to third. Great play by Johnny Bench. And I should give you the defensive lineup for the Spirits: Stargell, Lynn, Jackson, your outfielders; Schmidt, Garcia Parra, Morgan, and Allen, your infield. Matlack, the pitcher; Bench, catching. Here's Teddy. 375 so far on the year, 2 homers and 8 ribbies. That's a K for Matlack. To bring up Jolton Joe, 283, 4 homers, 15 ribbies so far. This league where the best of all time plays the best of all time. That's a pop-up, side retired for the Spitfires. So, despite a good start, the inning doesn't end well, and we go to the second inning, no score. Recording this game on Thursday, recording it at about 11 o'clock in the morning. We're expecting rain here in the Leesburg area, which is just a little to the northwest of Orlando. We're expecting rain later in the day, so I am recording this ahead of time. It has been 90 degrees the past couple of days here in Orlando, despite it being, today is being March 12th. Jim Thome, off to a slow start, 102, a homer, and 4 ribbies. That's a K for Hudson, his first of the day. That's going to bring up Willie Stargell. He's in left field. And kind of like Ted Williams, he's not the best defensive left fielder you could get. 327, 5 homers, and 10 ribbies. And this is popped up. It's going to be Connor making the play, Roger Connor. And there's now 2 outs for Michael Jack Schmidt. 7 homers, 11 RBIs. But the management of the Spirits is keeping him in that 7 hole. That's a K for Hudson. Tim Hudson with 2 Ks in the second inning. We go to the bottom of the second, and the score, 0-0. Gabby Hartnett now up for the Cubs. 226, 2 homers, and 9 ribbies. Hit well to left. Stargell going back, off the wall, and Hartnett with a double. That is his 3rd of the year. Ralph Kiner has only seen 3 at-bats so far this year in this first season of the Time Travel League of Baseball. You have to have 5,000 plate appearances to appear in this league, or 1,500 innings pitched, or appeared in 500 games. So that's why you're not going to see Aaron Judge in here. You're not going to see Shohei Ohtani in here. God bless and Godspeed. Hopefully they will be joining in future seasons. But Kiner, 1 for 3. He's only seen 1 game, and that is a grounder to Schmidt, over to Allen, and that will bring up Roger Connor with 1 out. Hartnett has held at second. Connor coming in 148, but that's going to boost his total up to 182 as a single. Moves Hartnett to third. He did not score or try to. Joe Gordon, 182, no homers, 5 ribbies. He's off to a slow start. That's a K for Matlack. That is his 2nd for the lefty, most notably of the New York Mets. And Brooks Robinson is up. 204, 2 homers, 7 ribbies. Last chance for scoring in the 2nd for the Spitfires, but Matlack punches him out. Not literally, of course. And we go to the 3rd, no score. I'm going to drink a water here. Reggie Jackson, he of the 3 home runs in Game 6 of the 77 World Series. 4 homers and 9 RBIs. Grounder. Gordon's going to scoop that up for Connor for the first out. I think we'll be seeing these 2 teams as the season progresses. Johnny Bench, not 240. That's his on-base percentage. He's off to a slow start, and you wonder if him being in the 9 hole has anything to do with it. 174, a homer, and 2 ribbies. Hit pretty well to left, but Williams is going to make the play there. He makes a great play. Williams was not known for his defense as much as he was for his bat, a legendary Hall of Fame bat. And there are now 2 outs for Joe Morgan, who's 0 for 1 on the day. Always a threat to bunt. He skies this one to center. DiMaggio will make the play there, and this side's retired, and after 2.5, we have no score. Enos Slaughter, 393. 2 homers, 4 RBIs. He's 1 for 1 today. He had that double in the first. Grounder right back to the pitcher. He throws to Dick Allen for the first out. Lou Boudreau, 245. And he did not have an at-bat in the first inning because he bunted Slaughter over to third. And this is a grounder, a slow grounder to third. Schmidt with a play, but not in time. And Boudreau is going to make it to first base. That's going to move his average up to 259. Not a threat to steal. And with Ted Williams at home plate, why would you want him to steal in this situation? Ball 4. Runners at first and second for DiMaggio, who loves left-handed headers. And this is up the middle, a base hit. This is going to not bring in Boudreau. The third base coach giving the stop sign. And you got bases full of Spitfires for Gabby Hartnett with 1 out. If he can avoid the double play, they might get a run here. That's a K. That's even worse. And that's going to bring out Ralph Kiner 0 for 1. Grounder, Garcia Parra. No, it was a line drive, and Garcia Parra just catches it at his shoe tops. So the Spitfires have now left 6 on as we go to the 4th, no score. Noma, 0 for 1. Hudson deals. Base hit to left. Hudson has only used up, as the graphics will update in a moment, 37 pitches, whereas Matlack is at 60 already. Hudson can go 110, whereas Matlack can go 130. Fred Lynn, 1 for 1 today. This is hit well to center, but DiMaggio is going to make the putout. It's going to bring up Dick Allen. 0 for 1. And hit well to left. Williams is going to make the play at the warning track for the second out in the Spirits' 4th. Spirits mainly 70s players, Spitfires mainly 40s players, and here is Jim Thome. Up the middle, Gordon with a great effort to make it to that ground ball. He threw to Connor, and the side is retired. And at the end of 3.5, we still have no score. Who's going to break through and put a run on the board? We don't know yet. Here's Roger Connor. Grounded foul. Count 0-2. Morgan to Allen on the ground ball. We have an injury, and Matlack is hurt. That's the computer's team. I cannot. Well, I could, but I can't. I'm not going to. He's going to stay in the game, but his effectiveness is going to be reduced 10%. So Spitfires might jump on him like white on rice. Here is Gordon, 0 for 1, and he walks. Bringing up Brooks Robinson, 1 out, no score, bottom of the 4th. And this is going to be sky to left field. Schmidt in foul territory makes the play. 2 out, you got Enos Slaughter up. Hit well to center. Lynn with a good play there. And the side's retired. 7 men now left on for the Spitfires as we go to the 5th, no score. Willie Starchel, 0 for 1. He's got a 10-game hitting streak. Down the line, but foul. He's hitting .321, 0 for 1 today. Needs to keep that hitting streak going. Connor to Hudson covering first for the first out. Schmidt, 0 for 1. Had some great home run hitting duels with Dave Kingman in the National League in the late 70s. There was a home run derby, and you could find it on YouTube in Veterans Stadium between Schmidt and Kingman, which was kind of bizarre, kind of like a roller derby match race. For those of you who ever followed roller derby, it's kind of weird seeing 2 sluggers wanting to play a home run derby against each other. But anyway, Schmidt struck out there. There's 2 outs. That was 1979. It was on WGN out of Chicago. I remember watching it when I was a kid. We had just gotten the Superstation as Jackson strikes out in early 79, and the first game I ever saw on WGN was May 16th, 1979, and that was a rather famous game where the Cubs scored 22 times and lost because the Phillies had 23. Yes, there was a 23-22 game in 1979. Look it up on YouTube or your favorite baseball reference website of choice. We're now at the bottom of the fifth, with the score still 0-0. Lou Boudreau, 1-for-1. Hit well to right center. Jackson has to hustle, and he makes a great play. Ted Williams, 0-for-1. With a 2-0 count. That's a line drive right to Morgan, who had him played perfectly defensively. Joe DiMaggio, 1-for-2, and now he's on with a walk. Bringing up Gabby Hart. So maybe that was one of those unintentional, intentional walks, because Hartnett has been struggling as of late. Strike 3, and that's 5 Ks now rung up from Matlack. That injury has not slowed him down. We go to the sixth, no score, and here is Johnny Bench, 0-for-1 today. Hudson with the putout, 1-3. Back to the top of the order, and Joe Morgan, he's 0-for-2. And Connor was coming in and playing in at first base, and only he was playing in at first base. Third baseman was not playing in, Brooks Robinson. Another 2 outs on the pop fly to Joe Gordon, and here is Nomar Garcia-Parra. Oh, right to Boudreau, over to Connor. I nearly said Sid Gordon, who played for the New York Giants back in late 40s, early 50s. So again, we have another goose egg on the board, and after 5.5, no score. Spirits with 2 hits, the Spitfires with 5. Spitfires have left 8 on, while the Spirits have left 2 on. Here is Ralph Kiner. And that's another K, and Matlack is now at 6. He's at 93 pitches out of 130. Here is Roger Connor. That's going to be a base hit to right center field. Jackson with the scooper patrol there. Runner at first for Joe Gordon. Check it first, the runner is back. Grounded to third. Oh, it's going to go into left field for a base hit. Connor is going to move all the way around the bases. A triple for Gordon, and we have our first run of the game. That is his first triple of the season in 24 at-bats. Joe Gordon triples in Roger Connor, and the Spitfires finally strike gold and lead 1-0. Brooks Robinson currently at 196, 0-for-2 today, and that's going to bring Gordon in. Defense for the Spirits not electing to bring their infield in farther so they can seed the run, and it's 2-0. RBI for Robinson. Enos Slaughter, 1-for-3 today, his 4th time up. Morgan over to Allen just in time to retire the side, but the Spitfires pick up 2, and at the end of 6, it's 2-0 in favor of the Spitfires. I'm going to take a pause to drink some water. Hang on. If you are suffering from diabetes, any of you out there, and you want to get your A1C level down, drink plenty of water. Like I have a half gallon of water, and I always drink the whole half gallon in the morning. So there's your health tip for today. See what you get when you visit Big Paulie's World of Sports Things. You get a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So anyway, back to the game. It's Fred Lynn up as the Spirits trying to show some spirit and get back into this. Base hit left center. I chopped right over Boudreau. We have an injury, and Tim Hudson is down. Down goes Hudson. So we're going to bring in a pitcher for Hudson as Dick Allen is up at the plate. Now, I don't know the rotation offhand. The Spirits have Dick Allen, and they got a bunch of lefties. So I want a lefty who also is good against righties. So I'm going to bring in, I was just thinking about him today, about the no-hitter that Bob Feller threw. The only guy to throw 2 no-hitters back-to-back, Johnny Vandermeer.
Pitching for Spitfires, Johnny, Vandermeer.
And Vandermeer introduced to this crowd at Sportsman's Park. He has not seen any action so far in this first season of the Time Travel League of Baseball. He comes in to face Dick Allen. Throw to first, Lynn back. He can go 70 pitches. He might be called upon to do exactly that. There's a K for Vandermeer. He had to get him started. Jim, tell me. The lefty, DH, grounder. Connor will go unassisted to first base. We have 2 outs now. Runner at second for Willie Stargell, coming in with a 10-game hitting streak, and that's not going to help his cause any, because that's a pop-off to the catcher, Hartnett. Matt looking strong again as we head to the 7th inning, but his team trailing now 2-0. So he's just going to have to keep things good for the Spirits and try to keep the Spitfires off the board. With this lineup, that's easier said than done. Boudreaux, grounder to third. Schmidt to Allen, first out. Teddy Williams, 0 for 2. That's a K, and that's 7 for Matlack, who has been averaging 6.6 Ks per 9 innings. That's 7 for him today. Bringing up Jolton Joe DiMaggio. That's ball 4, his second walk of the day. And Matlack getting up to that pitch count. He's at 117. Hartnett will get a shot at it after Bench is done talking to him on the mound. That is a grounder to Allen. Matlack covers, side retired. So Matlack doing a very effective job keeping the Spitfires to a minimum of damage. And after 7, it's 2-0. Mike Schmidt back up. He's 0 for 2. Grounder, Robinson over to Connor. You know Robinson's going to make that play, and that's 1 out. Reggie Jackson hitting .269 against lefties. And let me see here. Do I make a move? I got Jackie Robinson, who could hit .330. Well, I can't change the computer lineup. Besides, I was looking at the wrong team's lineup. You wonder if they would go to a pinch hitter here. Pete Rose is on the Spirit team, by the way, but he's nowhere near a starter. That's a K for Vandermeer, his second of the day. And that's going to bring up Johnny Bench, 0 for 2. And Vandermeer with back-to-back Ks to get out of the 8th. And after 7.5, it's 2-2. Now, Ralph Kiner is up. He's at 291. Now I want to bring in Jackie Robinson. And we will do exactly that. Try to get a rally going. Try to get some
Pinch
more
hitting
runs.
for Spitfires, Jackie Robinson.
Robinson is 257. Of course, he's the pioneer. Broke the color line. Should have been broken a long time before he did. Robinson showed great grace in integrating baseball. No homers, 8 RBIs. He has 5 doubles, no stolen bases. Pitch is going right to Matlack, and Allen takes the throw, and there is 1 out. Roger Connor, 2 for 3 today, and that's an error. Right before I did this game, I did the game between the Spitfires and the Deadballs, and the Deadballs in 13 innings made 6 errors. Of course, the Deadballers, that's the representation of the 1900s team, not great fielders, so I was kind of expecting that, but 5 of those errors were in the first 4 innings. And that was the game Joe DiMaggio won with a homer in the 13th at the Baker Bowl, 8-5. So Matlack now over his pitch limit, but he's going to stay in and try to finish this. And Joe Gordon says, "Thank you very much, sir. May I have another?" as he hits a homer to left center field, and it's 4-0. They're going to stick with Matlack? Surprising. Lynn, we have to put out, which makes 2 outs, and that's going to bring in Enos Slaughter, who is 1 for 4 today. He's going to go to left center. Lynn with the play. Side retired. So Matlack went the distance. And I'm sure the armchair managers are going to wonder if he should have been taken out in favor of a reliever before the Joe Gordon homer. But we go to the ninth, the score 4-0. Vandermeer has pitched 2 innings in relief, 3 Ks. We'll see if he can pick up the save by going 3 innings. Morgan, grounder to Boudreaux over to Connor, first out. Omar Garcia Parra, he Ks, 2 outs. That's 4 strikeouts for Vandermeer, looking for his first save of the season. Freddie Lynn, the last chance. That's going to be a base hit to right center. I'm going to stick with Vandermeer. 32 pitches. He can go 70. Dick Allen to Vandermeer, over to Connor. It's a shutout for the Spitfires. And a 4-0 win. Your totals, Spirits, no runs, 4 hits, and error. The Spitfires, 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Hudson the win, Vandermeer the save, Matlack the loss. And Johnny Vandermeer has been named the MVP. So I will come back on camera here. Hit USB cam. Okay, there you go, folks. This OBS controller app on my cell phone, which you could get on Android, which is the phone that I have, is working well. So I will have a little bit more confidence when it comes to putting these videos up. Hope you enjoyed today's game. Tomorrow, or our next presentation, may not be tomorrow, could be tomorrow. Most likely it'll be tomorrow, but, knock on wood on that. Is going to be from college basketball 75-76. Notre Dame taking on St. Francis of PA, and the reason why that game is important right now is Notre Dame in that league is the #1 team after knocking off Indiana, who in real life did not lose a game when 75-76. The Fighting Irish went into Assembly Hall in Bloomington and beat them. And we'll talk a little bit more about that when we play the third installment of College Basketball 75-76. We have Retro Championship Wrestling coming up after that, as we go to the Indie Circuit and set up week number 10. Do a little booking, and I'll explain my booking philosophy when we get there. So I hope you enjoyed today's game. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. Godspeed and God bless everybody. We'll do it all again. Bye-bye for now, everybody.